so hard for people to quit their job. If you left today, your company would move on without you. We are heading into a new decade, a new season for you to evaluate your career and take the steps needed to advance strategically. And it all starts with determining whether you should quit your job. This is one episode of a 10-part series called Should I Quit My Job that will take you through evaluating yourself, managing external impacts on your career, evaluating your current reality, and creating a plan to move forward. My name is Julia, and I am the career strategist behind the Ride the Tide Collective podcast, where we equip ambitious professionals to strategize and take action to advance their career. Welcome to episode 9. You have decided to quit your job. Now what? Well, now the real work begins. Before we dive in too deep, I want to reiterate that if you are in an extreme, substantiated, toxic situation, you need to get yourself out as quick as possible. The first episode of this season goes through some of the options if you haven't listened to it yet, and I will link it in the show notes. The strategies and tactics I'm going to provide in this episode will focus on professionals who are ready for the next move but don't have any issues in their position, or who recognize they don't fit in their current role or company well and want to make a change. I want to be clear that I am not speaking to people who are in crisis mode with their job. I am speaking to professionals who want to move forward strategically and have time to do so. Before we continue on to our strategies, I want to make sure that you have some basic questions answered. Assuming you have been through the other episodes in this season, these questions should be easy for you to articulate as they bring together all aspects of the previous episodes. The first question is, why do you want to leave this position? You need to have a very clear answer to this question because it will be what gets you through the process of looking for a new position. It can be stressful. Something you might want to think about is if your answer is about other people or an injustice you believe you have encountered, please make sure that you have done the internal work to understand why that person has affected you or you believe an injustice has been committed against you. Without the internal work, these situations will continue to happen regardless of where you end up next. The second question is, have you done everything within your ability to make this situation work? Meaning, if you have a conflict with someone, you have done the work to understand yourself and the other person. If the expectations of the role haven't been clear, you have taken the steps to find out what is expected. Basically, you have exhausted all of your options, and when you look back on the role, you know you did everything you could to make it work. Sometimes we simply grow out of a role and the company doesn't have anywhere for us to go and grow. But in other situations, we are leaving because of something that could have been prevented and managed better. Make sure you know the difference. Do the internal work. And the third question, does it make financial sense for you to leave this position? While this seems like it should be a simple answer, yes or no, it is much more involved. Finances, budgeting, and money are areas I'm very passionate about, and I believe most professionals don't spend enough time thinking about or considering when they make a job or career change. When you decide to move on from a role, whether to advance or to make a lateral move, your compensation needs to be considered. But before that, you need to know how much you ideally need. You should have 2 numbers in your head. The first number is the I would leave for this amount because I need to get out, or it's a good opportunity. And your second number is your reach number, which still needs to be realistic for your experience, functional area, and location, but would be considered at the top of your range. Now that we have those questions out of the way, let's move on to the tactical, action-packed strategies to help you quit your job. First, you need to know where you're headed next. What roles make the most sense and which companies interest you? Some functional areas have clear paths to advance, but others can be more difficult. Similarly, if you are in a situation where you want to change functional areas or industries, this can add some time and barriers to your plan. You need to choose at least 3 job titles or functional roles you are interested in pursuing next, and at least 3 industries or types of companies you would like to do that type of work within. For example, if you are in accounting, you can do accounting at an accounting firm or within a company. If it's at a firm, what are you looking for in a firm? Large, small, family-owned? If you are looking at companies, which industry interests you or is a logical next step? Does the size of the company matter to you? There is no one-size-fits-all answer to this question. It's very personal and unique to who you are and your situation. Because of that, my second strategy is to find support on your career advancement journey. The support you need completely depends on you and your personality. Having said that, your support should not be a spouse, anyone connected with your current job, or someone who doesn't understand what you do or who can't be objective. You need accountability to be able to set goals and apply for positions that make sense to where you are headed. Ideally, you need to hire a career coach to help you set goals, organize your application materials, and hold you accountable to action steps. There are all kinds of career coaches out there at different price points to help you on your journey. If you think this is the sales pitch part of the episode, you would be wrong. Right now, I'm here to offer free, tangible advice and action steps to get you where you want to go. I will be offering career strategy and coaching later in 2020, and if you're interested, you can sign up to receive emails on the website, but I'm not pitching you anything today. You need to decide if you are ready to level up, and leveling up requires support in whatever way works for you. Strategy 3 is to apply to new positions and opportunities. This is a loaded strategy, so I'm going to stick to the highlights. Do not, I repeat, do not apply to anything and everything out there in your desired position. If you have learned nothing from me, I hope that you have learned that the more strategic and intentional you are with your career goals and choices, the easier it will be for you to land your desired role. The reason I said this process takes time is because in order to get into the company you want, in the role you want, you need to lay a foundation if it's not already there. You need to find connections or create connections, build relationships, show trust, gain advice, and really understand the role and company. You need to get to know recruiters and go to events to be visible. You need to make sure you have the right skill set. And if you don't, you need time to develop and train to obtain those skills. You need to prepare your application materials, which is about 10 steps into the process, because what's the point of preparing application materials if you're going to throw them into the black hole of the internet? I recommend revamping your resume early in this process, though, because it can be a great tool to not only build your confidence, but also show your blind spots in your skill set. Once you have a good base for your resume, you can build and adjust based on the roles you apply for. Again, this is where having a career coach or accountability partner can come in handy. You need an objective set of eyes on your application materials, and you need someone to speak truth into your strategy and plan for applying to new positions. I know this is a lot, so let me break it down into simple steps. Number 1, choose your ideal next position. Number 2, choose your next ideal company. Number 3, find a career coach or accountability partner. Number 4, review your resume and rewrite based on your next ideal position. Number 5, learn the skills needed for the next role, if applicable. Number 6, make appropriate connections and build intentional relationships with professionals at desired companies of interest. Number 7, attend public events for companies of interest and connect with recruiters if applicable. And number 8, apply for positions when you are in a place for somebody at the company to refer you. It is the only way you are going to get through the application tracking systems or the ATS systems. Again, this is a long-term strategy, not a quick fix. If you need a quick fix, hire a career coach, get out of your position, and then use this model to help you move up or out of the new role. This process could easily take a year or more to complete, depending on the foundation you have already established. Some professionals are natural networkers who have a level of confidence that will get them noticed immediately. This type of person might only need a few months to find a new role. Others are starting from nothing and want to switch functional areas or industries, which will take longer to establish. Regardless of the situation you are in, if you are ready to move up or out of a position, take the time to do the work. Don't rush the process. Keep your spirits high and see every situation as an opportunity to learn and better yourself. In the next and last episode of season 1, I'm going to do some Q&A. So if you have any questions, please send an email to hello@ridethetidecollective.com, send me a DM on Instagram, or send me a message on LinkedIn. I will leave links to all of these locations in the show notes, and I look forward to connecting with you.